Makes sense for you as far as like why divorce is inherently more risky for men?
I just feel like you're saying because women tend to be the person who initiates a divorce, correct?
Yes.
That's why it's riskier for men. But why do women tend to end divorces? With successful men that have money, they cheat.
She said it earlier.
They do all these things that women don't want to
She
put
said
up
it earlier.
with.
It's
So
a feeling.
why?
Feelings change from day to day.
Yeah,
time
so
to
I
time.
could have been in love with the person at the moment, but if that person is no longer treating me well just because we're married, I have to say no.
That's the
Because he
point.
can't be a good husband.
So as a man,
That's all I'm asking.
if I marry you and
Yeah.
you decide, you know what, he's not the guy I thought he was anymore, I'm leaving. You take half my stuff and maybe.
So is there no risk
So?
without reward?
Oh, so what?
You married?
But it's not a reward, though. It's not a reward if you've been a terrible wife. From your vantage point, he was a terrible husband. But what about his vantage point? From the way he looks at it, maybe you've been a horrible person. Maybe you haven't been fulfilling your duties. Maybe you don't look the same as you used to look. Modern women, and this is the point that a lot of men make, modern women only see things from their perspective. So they move in accordance with that. I deserve this. You don't. You've been a terrible wife for the past 5 years and I haven't said anything to you.
Married me, right?
No. So once again, this is why
You
men
wanted to marry me.
don't want to
You
get married.
thought you loved me enough that it would be worth it to you to marry me and
so
take
real
the
quick,
risk.
hold on, stop the show. You just basically admitted it with your own words. Why guys don't get married? I'm married.
Exactly. This is exactly it. So basically, when a man comes into the marriage, well, you married me all those years and your feelings aren't allowed to change, but mine, they can change from day to day. Yeah, they can. That's not fair. That's not right. You shouldn't be able to just have your feelings floating in the wind and a man is he's beholden to your mood swing.
I can understand why men have given up dating, because can someone make it make sense to me how these women want men to text them back fast, but not too fast, that it's too creepy. They want men to make 6 figures while working 20 hours a week while they still have quality time with them. You know, if he has a good relationship with his mom, then that means he treats women well. But if he doesn't have a relationship with his mom, then that means he's automatically but then she doesn't want to ever talk about her daddy issues. If he's too nice and too kind, then that means that he wants something from you, or, you know, there's an assumption that he's just buying you gifts and whining and dining you because he wants. But if he doesn't wine and dine you, then he's lazy, he doesn't care, and he's not putting in enough effort. You want men to lead, but you don't want to listen. You want men to show their masculinity and take charge and plan dates, but not too much masculinity that he comes off as aggressive, mean, rude, or condescending. You want men to be in tune with your emotions, but if he's too emotional, then he's weak and you don't trust him to make decisions and lead. He has to be a...
And you know, this is kind of what we talked about in that last clip, to where their feelings just go with the wind, wherever they want them to go, however they want them to go. A man can't predict it. A man can observe it and see which pattern it's going to flow in. It's impossible. And modern women, they intentionally do this. They want to live their life this way. Most women out here, they're relatively stable. But modern women, and I say relatively, meaning you know, they can identify at least which emotion they're going through. And a lot of times they know, oh, shoot, if they're mature enough, oh, shoot, yeah, I'm feeling this way, even if they decide to stay in that emotion. But modern women are purposely manipulating their emotions. They're purposely getting in a bad mood or presenting to you a bad mood in hopes that you're going to acquiesce, in hopes that you're going to submit, in hopes that you're going to bow down. And then when they're tired of the relationship or they've used you up, they'll divorce you and move on.
Attractive, but not too attractive that he looks like a boy or somebody that gets around, because if he's too attractive, then he has too many options. But if he's not attractive enough, then you're not even looking in his direction. If he has a child and a baby mom, then you automatically assume that, you know, what baby mom would want to be single, and that makes him toxic. But if he's never been married or in a committed relationship, then that also makes him toxic, and that's a red flag. Because
I heard a woman the other day say, a man, she said something to the effect of, if a man has a baby mom, then the baby mom is right in whatever situation. And if the baby mom left the man, then she's right. Does that make sense? Like it was confusing, but basically she was saying if the woman leaves a man, then she was tired. But if the man leaves a woman, then he did something wrong. He really put her out. And then she went on some long tangent about how her mother was her hero, and that's why she treats men the way that she treats men.
Because he's never been in a relationship before. You want men to initiate the dating stages of a relationship. You want men to initiate. So then when he stops initiating, then you assume that he's cheating on you. You want men to be honest and open and upfront, but your idea of honest and open and upfront is basically him telling you only the truth that validate your feelings and your experiences, because the moment that he invalidates how you feel, now he's narcissistic, and he is mentally and emotionally using you. And these women will always say that they want men to be themselves and be authentic to who they are, but then there's an entire list of icks, like wearing sandals at in winter, or him just getting coffee, or him getting sepsis, and you think it's funny and you're posting it on social media. But the moment that he posts an ugly picture of you on social media, now he's a piece of crap and he's picked the wrong picture, and now you feel bad about yourself. If he dresses well and he takes care of himself, then he's too feminine and he's trying to show off. But if he doesn't dress well enough and he doesn't show off and he just dresses average, then he looks like a broke-ass loser bum, and you want nothing to do with him. You want that man to have hobbies like going to play golf or gaming, but if he games too much or plays golf too much or it inconveniences your lifestyle or what you have going on, now you're pissed off. But if he doesn't have any hobbies, then he's a loser because he's too obsessed with you. But if he has too many hobbies and takes away time from you, then he doesn't care enough. If a man respects a woman's boundaries, then he's being too creepy because he's just too good of a man. But if he doesn't respect her boundaries, then he's likely to or SA her later on down the road. If a man speaks loud, then that means that he's aggressive. If he speaks too soft, then that means he's too feminine. Men expect constant attention and praise all of the time. So if you give too much, then you're trying too hard. But if you give too little, then you're a lazy bum and you don't match the guys in her DMs. These women don't want men to be manipulative or liars or cheaters, but they'll turn around and show their butt cheeks online and call it, body positivity to basically cheat on you and be narcissistic, but then it's still all of your fault. And the sad reality is that you could give a woman everything that she could ever dream of: the house, the money, the cars, the emotional stability. You could provide, you could protect, you could check all of the boxes down the list. And guess what? She's going to turn around and say that she's bored, she's uninspired, she's not attracted to you. She's going to cheat on you with the next guy down the street who has no job, all because Susie Q has a better life on Instagram. But not only that, when she says that she's unhappy, she's going to get online and talk about how you're a narcissist, even though you gave her everything that she could ever want, and every single step of the way that the goalpost changed or the expectation, especially unrealistic expectations, changed, you gave it to her and it still wasn't enough. So yeah, if anyone is ever wondering why men have stopped dating, this is a perfect example, because even as a woman, if you really sit back and look at it, it's so unrealistic and it's so delusional and it's so narcissistic that who the hell would want to put themselves through this? And it makes sense when you really think about it, because none of it actually makes sense. Women don't actually know what they want. They love the highs and lows of being incompatible with the wrong people instead of just being at peace, and then they blame the men for the unfulfillment and the lack of peace within their lives, even though they're the ones creating this diabolical cycle over and over with different men. Okay, bye.
This is exactly it in a nutshell. Well, not even a nutshell. She took her time and broke it down. All the scenarios that you could go through, all of the scenarios that a man can go through. And I say all of the scenarios, but this is, probably 25% of the scenarios, maybe even 30%. Well, there can't be much more than that. No, with these modern women, it can be a lot more. They think of ways, which is what she's explaining. They think of ways to be miserable. They think of ways to make your life miserable. They think of ways not only to make your life miserable, everybody around them. You'll notice in their lifetime, they might only have a handful of friends. Why is that? And those friends are just as terrible as she is. Now, I know there's a saying, if you have like maybe 2 or 3 close friends, you're doing good. That's not this. This is a separate reason. Your friends, close friends, are because everybody else goes off and they start doing their own thing. And you really only pull people that unconditionally, throughout everything, have committed to you. Not everybody can do that. These modern women, their reason is, we want to stay together because each of us is going to need a boost at some point in time. This is my villain era. This is my irresponsible era. I need you and you, Susie and Becky, to back me. Oh, Susie needs something? Okay, Becky and Jenna, back her. And then so on and so forth, and they'll rotate. They'll keep each other single for about 10 or 15 years. And then somewhere out of the blue, Jenna will go undercover. She'll stop doing all that stuff. Mind you, they've made a pact. She'll stop doing all that stuff and then get married. And then the other two are left holding the bag, talking about, I thought we were going to be single, alone, and we're going to hate on men forever. I turned over a new leaf. I decided to start doing something else. And she goes on and she's healed. And you're left stuck out there saying all this stupid stuff. Well, I want this and I want that and I want this, I want that. I can see if you was 21, 22 doing this stuff, then I could blame it on immaturity. But y'all do this stuff well into your 30s and 40s when you should stop. Y'all be going to the therapist and still doing this type of stuff. Y'all will sit dead. Some of you sisters that go to church, y'all will sit dead in the pastor's face, married and all, ring on your finger, and still and lie, bold-faced lie to the pastor about what that man's doing. Oh, he's putting his hands on me, pastor. Or you know what? I had a dream. I had a dream that he put his hands on me. So you lied. You lied in the house of God. They'll do it. I'm laughing, but I'm dead serious. They'll do it. And they'll continue to do that type of stuff because that's who they are as people. And they're asking men to overlook all that. When a man says, what is your body count? What is your history? What can you bring to the table? They're asking a man to overlook all that. Well, you know, it's just who I am. Even if they haven't gone to therapy, they'll say, I'm looking for a man to accept me as I am. I'm imperfect. I am unlovable at times. You mean you're unlovable 90% of the time. You're unlovable 95% of the time. You're a nightmare. You're a nightmare. So she's spot on. All of this stuff that she's talking about, modern women practice on a daily basis. And there's even more scenarios out there for these modern women to continually make a man's life miserable.
There are going to be people online that say you didn't get married because he wanted you to sign a prenup.
Correct.
So why did you not just sign the prenup?
In that moment, it was, I'd rather walk away from something knowing that I chose myself than to spend the rest of my life not being loved the way that I love somebody.
So basically, selfish. Go ahead, Pearl.
Translation, I want to take his money and virtue signal while I do it.
Somebody.
Yep.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. You're making up stuff. You really got married for the money. Even if the man put stipulations in there or clauses in whatever it might be in there for you so that you could benefit, you're still going to say, nope, I want full access. But you didn't give that man full access to anything that you had. This is what modern women do.
But that a man gets from a marriage that he wouldn't get in a regular relationship.
Just one.
I think a lot of men
By the way, she's a dating coach. Just FYI, she's teaching women how to be in their feminine. Go ahead, Nelly.
who choose to get married are incentivized by the fact that they are able to claim that woman as theirs. And
No, but name one benefit that they would get in a marriage that they wouldn't get in a regular relationship.
well, I think even though it's not 100%, there's peace of mind that that woman is not
The
going to
answer
be
is
loyal
there's
to
none.
you.
The answer is there's none.
Exactly. And keep in mind, I want you to look at her nails. I want you to look at her makeup. I want you to look at her hair. Just her whole entire aesthetic. She's gotten rich off of bold face lying to women, keeping women single, period.
You're dancing around it. There is none. So my thing is this. I think it's in a man's best interest to stay Peter Pan, as you would say. And I think women shame men because men gain their value in their 40s. Men understand the sexual marketplace better. They understand that women have no leverage in their 40s. And they date down and they get younger, more attractive girls. And that's the best way to go in today's day and age, where we live in a deregulated sexual marketplace where women could take everything they got, take their kids, etc. Why the hell would a guy want to commit to women nowadays when, honestly, we got wholeflation?
I think it's also setting a good example to children that you have a family nucleus. And I think there's something to be said about that.
But there's no nucleus from you guys, because the woman at the beginning of the video said, I should be able to leave whenever I want because myself, I don't believe that you're a good person anymore. You've changed. You don't give me the things that I want. It doesn't matter whether it's real or it's fake. They will lie. Think about another video I did where the woman she came to that man's neighborhood. They had mutual restraining orders on each other. Mutual. They were no longer together. Had the man not recorded it, he'd be in that cop car. Instead, because he recorded it, they took her to jail and she got charged with, I think, simple assault and some other stuff. She went around that man's neighborhood lying on him. Flat out lying on him. Had he not recorded it, once again, he would have been in a world of hurt.
That.
Well, you can do that without the state getting involved in getting married.
What I noticed lately is that a lot of men rather stay single because they're tired of giving their everything and ending up with nothing. Do you guys agree with that?
This is 100% the truth. Girls really don't value anymore what men bring to their lives. The world now has become primarily about material. There is always somebody else that can provide better material. Because of this, there's no real reason to cling on to one person or another. There's always somebody better, right? This, of course, is only if you define somebody by what they provide in the material world. The harsh reality, of course, is this. Most people really don't deserve or need that much material. Just because you feel that you deserve something doesn't mean you actually do. Your life will eventually show you that reality one way or the other.
These women are going to the highest bidder. They don't want to think about it like that, but that's what they're doing. They're going to the highest bidder. They are for sale, unfortunately. Like I said, they don't want to call it that, but that's what it is.
All right, listen, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. You won, ladies. I'm done dating. I can't do it. The dating world's so bad. I can't. Do I got food pantry stamped on my forehead? Somebody answer me that question, because the amount of food and mouths I fed going out on dates, that's how I feel.
Sir.
I can give hams to the homeless this year for Christmas with the amount of mouths that I fed going on first. I could be driving a Ferrari. I could be driving a Ferrari right now with the amount of money I spent on first dates. I can't take it anymore. And listen, I get it.
This is exactly why a lot of men are just done with dating. They're frustrated because they're doing what they think they're supposed to be doing. They are putting a lot of time and effort and money into the first date. But when ladies don't appreciate that and they go into those first dates with very low energy and very little reciprocation, the date is not going to go well. And that just leads to a lot of these failed first dates. But for women, they will just keep going on these first dates because they're not really putting anything into it. It's different for men, which is...
Yeah, I'm just hanging out. I'm just hanging out here. Yeah, I just come to, I mean, if I'm going to come out of my house, if I'm going to come and get out of my PJs, then it better be worth my time. I mean, you guys are acting like y'all are some high-powered consultants. Like y'all are just about to change the world. Like y'all are just, oh, I've got this. If I'm going to get out, I mean, I worked myself to a career to where if I get out of bed, it better be worth something. That's the type of stuff that you say to Michael Jordan when he's 40. If I get out of bed right now, you better make it worth my time. I'm retired. For retirement, I'll come back. Brady coming back and going to the Bucks. Hey, I'm not ready to retire yet, but I don't want to go to a team that sucks, a team that's rebuilding. I want to go to a team to where I can relatively easily lift them to the Super Bowl. And that's exactly what he did. That's exactly, I can take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and we're going to the Super Bowl, and came back and won a championship. Y'all are acting like y'all are Tom Brady, that y'all have had a career that spanned 19, 20 years, and now you can just start making demands. You're 20 years old. You have done nothing. And even for the women out here who 35, 40, six-figure business, right? Okay, so you've done a little bit, but the men that you're meeting with are on that level like you. They've done things with their life. They might be even further, but yet and still, you think that you're the only superstar. And modern women say as much. There's only room for one diva in this relationship, and it's going to be me. What the heck does it look like? Me treating him this way, me doing this for him and that for him. It looks like you actually like him. That's what it looks like. It looks like you're taking your money and spending on him like you want him to spend on you. That's what that looks like. It looks like maturity and growth. That's what that looks like. Y'all got to stop thinking that y'all are of all-star caliber. You're simply not. No disrespect meant.
All women are 304s. Nope. There is no such thing as traditional women anymore. Wrong. Women simply aren't worth it. What does that even mean? I am so tired of all of this negativity. Are you going to insist that masculinity is about growth, suffering, and overcoming difficult things, and then just not date because it's hard? Are some of you really so pessimistic and self-hating that you will just resign yourself to never feeling love and affection? Are you really going to sit here and insist that you have all of the answers to dating, and then just refuse to pass those answers on to a woman who is ready and willing to please you? Tell me, what battle are you even fighting?
We're not fighting a battle. It's not a battle that's fighting. Men know that there are women out here somewhere that will do that are willing to please. It's just, when you continue to run into women like this, and of no fault of your own sometimes, that continue to say stupid stuff, they present themselves as nice women that are lovely. She looks like a good woman. She's going to be the person that, I want to take things to the next level. And then she starts, well, let me get out my scroll here and let me talk to you about what I want from you. I want X, Y, Z. Oh, I forgot this. Let's start at the top at A, B, and C. That's what she's doing. Men don't want to hear that. They want to hear how we can build together. So no, I'm not coming out of my house for somebody that's about to waste all my time.
There was a study done in the 90s, and what they found out, I think, still holds true today. So what they did is they took a group of men and they took a group of women and they categorized these men. So it was like high status, t-shirt, McDonald's. Same thing with the women. High status, t-shirt, McDonald's. And then they asked, the men, okay, would you go to coffee with this person, go on a date, marry? And in all three categories, the guy didn't care. He's like, yes, sure, whatever. With women, it was a whole different story. Women went to the high status man for the majority of them. So that was for coffee, date, marriage. My takeaway on this is just goes along with the trends I've been seeing. So we are in this Kardashian culture and have been for, 10 years. I don't know how long they've been on. But this idea of perfection has just been kind of unseen before. I mean, before we had magazines, we knew they were kind of airbrushed, but what we see now, women are doing eyebrows, microblading, dermaplaning, eyelash extensions, hair extensions, lip fillers, cheek fillers, breast implants, butt implants, fat transfer, taking ribs out. I mean, literally women are taking their ribs out.
It's a bunch of foolishness, and they're expecting a man to acquiesce to it. They're expecting a man to pay for it. Yeah, this is what I do to keep myself up, so you need to pay for this. No, I'm not doing that. Number one. Number two, these modern women, they think because they've followed a makeup tutorial, a hair dyeing, or a hair cutting tutorial, basically think of any other beautiful or beautifying thing that women are doing. They think because they can do that, which is impressive, then I should be treated high above you as the man, because you don't do this type of stuff. You don't put this much time and effort into your looks. You have the 3-in-1 body soap, and I don't like that. That's beneath me. Your routine for your face is just a bar of soap. I have a 6-step routine. They're trying to get as close to what they feel like is perfection So because I'm perfect, then I need to be as close to perfect as I can be, and I'm surely more perfect than you, then you need to be treating me as such, because you're down a couple of notches, you're down 4 or 5 notches. So you should be so grateful. And let's say that, we get in a relationship and you're doing all of these things, but one day you level up and now we're on the same level. Well, I've been here longer, so I have seniority, so I'm still the diva, right? And even if I'm not perfect, because they know they have some things that is not so flattering about themselves, what they've been taught is there's a man out there that's going to look at me and he's going to say, I'm perfect in every way, even though he knows, and I know, I'm flawed, I'm imperfect. There's things about me that are completely and utterly disgusting. No disrespect. And the man is out there. The man is out there that's going to, because that's what these dating women gurus teach him. There's going to be a man out there that accepts you for you. Don't change. Don't lower your standards at all. Don't do it ever, completely. If he wants you to lower your standards, then he's not for you. Buying you forever flowers that cost $300 on the first date is the bare minimum.
Men say they're done with dating. That doesn't mean they're done with relationships. It doesn't mean they're giving up on starting families. It doesn't mean anything like that. It just means they're done with dating. Okay, and I think a lot of them have a hard time verbalizing this, so that's what I'm going to try to do in this video. Now, there's a little bit of an unwritten rule that men are starting to understand about dating, and you've probably heard people say this in the past. If not, you're going to hear it now, but the only winning move is to not play. In regards to dating, the only winning move is to not play. That's what men are starting to realize. Again, like I said, relationships are fine. Families, fine. Dating, not good. Let me explain why. And this is the part that a lot of people have a hard time verbalizing. This is the dating experience for a man who's actually dating. It could be with your wife, it could be with your girlfriend, it could be a woman that you just met, somebody on Tinder that you're taking out on a first date, whatever. Typically, you have to find a nice little venue to go to. You might just go to dinner, but typically you want to go out and have a good time. So you find a nice venue with good music that you like. You pick her up, you drive to the venue, you park, you pay her $10 to park or whatever, and then you walk to the front door and you wait in line. It's not the greatest experience, but you do what you have to do. Then finally you get to the door. And when you get to the door, there's some 7-foot monster, roided up, standing there, and he looks at your girl and he says, "You're good." And he throws her a compliment, compliments her looks a little bit. "You're good, looking good tonight. You can go in." And then he looks at you, the man, and he says, "That'll be $20 for you, dirtbag." Maybe it's not that harsh. Sometimes it's not that harsh. Sometimes it's even more harsh than that. But I'm not talking about the words here. It's the action. And the action is she gets in free and the man has to pay $20 to get in, $25, sometimes higher, to get in. Now, everybody knows this is true. They have ladies' night and, things like this happen. And we've just grown to expect it. This is the norm. But every man knows when he's at the front door and his girl can go in for free and he just has this moment, this humiliating moment where it's like, she can go in, but I'm so unwanted here that I have to pay. And that's the way the system is set up. That's the way the dating market is set up. Men are not wanted there. Okay, just like this venue. Why do they have this set up? Because women are wanted there. Men are not wanted there. So they put a paywall there to prevent at least broke men from coming in. And by the way, they don't want alphas in there. They don't want charismatic chads in there. They don't want pickup artists in there. No, they want guys in there that will spend their money, guys that will fork out their cash. So they want a bunch of women. They'll fill the place to maximum capacity with women, and they'll let a few guys in, a few suckers in to come in and blow all their money. And men finally started to wake up. They finally started to understand that they go out there and they're not wanted. It has literally nothing to do with women. Okay, it's not all these people that are trying to make it a man versus woman thing. That's stupid.
And I like that he said this, because essentially what they've tried to do, like he was saying, I'm not against family. I want a family. I'm not against relationships. I'm not against that. I want kids. I want the companionship, but I don't want all of that comes with it. The pomp and the circumstance. You got to buy me a flowers. You got to take me to this restaurant, and it has to be this restaurant. You got to send me this car. There's too many rules on love. There's too many rules on dating. If I just say, hey man, let's go get a burger, my friend would say, heck yeah, let's go. Or I could say, it doesn't matter. I could say, let's go get a burger. Or I could say, let's try one of these nice steakhouses, these fancy steakhouses. I'd be down. Okay, cool. If the man in this scenario or in this dating environment, he says, let's go get a burger to a woman that's supposed to be his friend who has professed her love, these modern women will say, I'm worth more than that. How dare you try to give me pennies? How dare you try to treat me like I'm scum of the earth? Immediately blocked, immediately left, immediately posted on TikTok. That's one down. And by the way, I spent $200 or $300 on her. We've gone on 2 or 3 dates. I've already spent $2 or $300 on her. She's cashed in and she's gone away. I find another woman. Once again, everything is going great, but I think I've gotten to the point to where I say, hey, why don't we stay in, get some popcorn, maybe order some pizza, or we can order takeout, whatever you want. If your pizza is going to mess up your stomach, if pizza is going to mess up your stomach, and let's just watch a movie. Let's just kind of sit here, cuddle, and do that. Well, I ain't that type of girl. I don't do that type of stuff. What do you mean? I'm just talking about watching a movie, maybe play some games and just chill out. Well, I don't want to do that. I expect a man to take me out. We've already gone out. We've been out 2 or 3 times, totaling $300 to $400 each time we've gone out. So you know I'll spend the bag on you. She says, no, I'm not accepting that. I'm more than that. I'm not lowering my standard. Blocked, deleted, TikTok, posting them, trashing them. That's the second time now. At that pace, he spent upwards of $2,000 already on bad investments. Really, honestly, after that first investment, he's like, no, I don't think I'm going to do this again. But by that second one, that's confirmation to the modern man. I'm not doing that anymore. So by that third one, you're thinking you're going to play the game, and he's not going for it. And now you have to get on TikTok. Oh, that day didn't go well. Where are all the men that have an ounce of chivalry in their body? They're all gone. No, I'm just watching very closely to see if you actually want to be my friend. And if you want to be my friend, I'll take you out on a date. But this game that we're playing, and I understand there's a dance to it. You know, there's a push and a pull. I get that. But there's too much nonsense. There's too much fluff in the dating value chain to where y'all think that y'all get away with a whole bunch of foolishness, and they know they're getting away with foolishness because they say so. Oh yeah, if they're going to do it, then go ahead and say this or do this or act this way. They know they're wrong for what they're doing, and they continue to treat men like this. But then when they run into Chad and Tyrone flip it, or that high value man that they want, and the high value man flips it, he claps those cheeks and sends her on home, then all of a sudden she's upset. Oh man, I just wish I would have hung on to him. What can I do next time? And she spends the next 10 to 15 years trying to get that same caliber of man. But all of these same caliber, well, I've been proposed to 3 times, yada, yada, yada. Well, why didn't it work out? Because I didn't want it to. Some of y'all are lying. Some of y'all are lying. That man didn't want you. That man actually broke it off. Y'all were supposed to go to a football game, and he said, you know what? Don't worry about coming. Abruptly, without warning. Oh, I'm going to take my other lady. You what? I didn't even know you had I ain't no side. Okay, well, you don't have to be no side. You can be nothing. Boom. Oh, I tell you, I can't understand, and I can't stand the men out here, they this and that. Say all you want to. But that very same game that you've been playing with men, back when you was 20, 25, 30, now at 30, 35, 40, and then even 50, these men are playing in your face because you decided you was too much of a diva to quit playing these dating games.
Is the prize.
Men are the prize because men have to bring way more to the table than women do to get a relationship. So therefore, we are the prize.
No.
Absolutely.
No, that's not true.
Do you find most men attractive or unattractive?
Unattractive.
So would it be fair to say that you're picky?
Yes, very.
Okay. So if you find that guy, would it be fair to say that he's probably in the top 1 or 2% of men?
Mm-hmm.
By definition, he's the prize.
She refuses to. I mean, he's sitting there picking her off at the line. This is what a lot of men do. I'm just sitting here picking you off at the line. Do you like this? Yes. Do you like this? Yes. Do you like this? Yes. I'm just confirming stuff that I already know. I'm just confirming facts. And y'all fall into it every single time. I already know how you well, you don't understand. I already know. Don't worry about it. This is why that man that you're going for, you want him more than he wants you.
Accountability. Why is it always our fault? Yes, I chose the nice guy. You know what happened? Turned out to be a covert narcissist, completely destroyed my self-worth and confidence. So then I decided to remove myself from the dating pool and heal and grow and evolve into who I am today. Meaning now I'm celibate, not dating, and I'm happy with my life. But now I'm too picky because my standards and boundaries are really strong and really high. And I'm going to die with a bunch of cats. Because I'm too picky. I guess I'll take the cats or the bear or the shark and I'll stay alone if these are my options.
It's not really an option that you have to settle for. That's exactly what you're doing. Y'all don't, instead of saying I'm settling for this, y'all say what you're really actually doing is you're bragging about being single. You're bragging about not being able to get any men. That's what you're really doing. You're trying to brag about the men that you want not coming up to you and approaching you. At some point in time, y'all got to figure out what it is about y'all that's not attracting the person that you want.
Being a nice guy versus being a good man.
Oh, I can't stand nice guys.
What?
Can't.
What's the difference?
They're people pleasers to me. When I hear nice guy, and remember, you have to remember how I associate to the word nice. Nice means you want to make other people happy. Nice means you are walked over easily. I feel like nice guys finish last because they're always putting everyone else before them.
Well, what you're describing is a simp. That's what you're describing. But when men say for other men to avoid this, then all of a sudden that's what you want.
Whereas a good man,
he stands 10 toes down.
He stands 10 toes down.
Yeah.
I respect a good man. I don't necessarily respect a nice guy. They gonna come for me on that one.
It's gonna be a lot of hurt people in the comments.
Wow. To tell you ladies, but men are done with being nice guys. I love a nice guy, but you know the expression nice guys finish last? That is the truth nowadays. Nice guys do finish last, which is why most men are done with being a nice guy and they are like, you know what? If the women are going to be toxic, I'm going to be toxic too. I can be just as horrible as you. And women, you're going to hate it. You might thrive on the drama now you're young, but as you get older and you want a nice guy, you want to settle down with a nice guy, you'll find there are no nice guys left. Or the very few nice guys that are left have been snapped up by the nice girls, and you, with all your love of drama and your toxicity and your fucking me, are going to end up alone being by cats like Bridget Jones.
Well, that's where I think we have to do some re-examination because, you know, I'm assuming when you're talking about young, you're talking about women maybe in their early 20s, late 20s, even late 20s. These women are toxic throughout their 20s, throughout their 30s, throughout their 40s. Even when they should be kind of settling down, when they should be maturing, they're not. And that's what men are finding out. These modern women, they say they're maturing. They say they're doing the inner work and the healing, but they're still the same old toxic person. So she also asked the question about if the men are going to continue to be nice guys, right? Basically, in so many words, because women are acting like this, are you going to stop being who you are? And I think the answer for a lot of these guys out here is no. That's how they were raised. I saw another man, one man in the comments say, no, you know, even though she said this or she acted this way, I'm not going to stop being who I am because that's how I was taught. And so, you know, that's just who I am. The problem, or what's probably going to happen, is men are just going to stop dealing with you and you're not going to get the benefit, which honestly and truly, I mean, it might sound harsh to say it. That's the way that it should be. Instead of somebody continuing to waste their time and their energy on you, they should probably go elsewhere and quit allowing you to basically walk all over them.
Ladies, I hate to say it, but I have to say it because I am sick of this and I'm speaking to myself. Why do we never give the nice guy the chance? Like, why do we look at the nice guy like the ones who's just annoying and just thirsty and they're...
This is her reflecting, as men have told you that you're going to do, on why did this never work out? Why did me and Kyle never work out? He was a really nice guy.
Was available, not attractive to us, and meanwhile we're complaining that we're getting dogged out, that we're dealing with manipulative, narcissistic men who can't treat a woman right. Not even men, little boys who don't know how to treat a woman right, who just fumble us all the time. Like, we complain that we get treated like that, but 9 times out of 10 we overlooked the nice guy.
But he's not fumbling you though. He's treating you exactly how you have showed him that you want to be treated. But it's not necessarily fumbling. He's using you and then discarding you like men said he would.
To deal with this man, boy. Like, I don't get it. Why do we do that? In 2024, can we stop doing that? I'm speaking to myself too, because I hate that I do this too. Like, can we give the nice guys a chance? Let's give the nice guys a chance. I want the nice guy. I want the guy that's texting me, "Good morning, beautiful. I hope you have an amazing day today because you're such a blessing and I'm grateful to know you." Like, I want that guy.
Women prefer bad boys over nice guys. What's the main reason?
If you're overly nice, I think that's concerning.
I think it's concerning that y'all are ready to give this answer. Like, instead of just saying, we need to stop doing that, y'all are justifying. It seems like, oh, well, you know, this or that. Yeah, this is something that we do, or, you know, I'm ashamed to admit that there's some women out there that do this. And, you know, we really need to stop. You never really truly hear women say that.
I think
there has to be a good balance, because like nobody's that perfect. So maybe like the chase too. Like, say they are talking to another girl and you kind of want to like prove your point and like stand your ground, like show who you are. Like, no, I'm gonna get this. Like a challenge.
With women with kids.
What's wrong with little Jimmy with freckles and the glasses?
He's not my type.
Not my type.
So you want a woman that has no kids,
Yeah.
correct? Why?
Why not?
Majority of men are good men.
Why is that even a question? Why is that even a question? I don't get that. Like the man said, I mean, he just gave you an example right there to your face. It's just my preference. I don't want that. I don't want to be around that. Well, why not? These are good women. Some of these ladies are not good women. And then they bring the baggage with them. That's a double and a triple whammy. I don't want any of it. Modern women, this is what I'm saying. Modern women think that they're so good that they're just God's gift to the earth, regardless of the baggage. Well, I was broken and I was sad and I was wounded and he saw through me. I was going through a horrible divorce and all this other nonsense. Well, maybe he would if you were actually a good person, but you're not. And so therefore, he doesn't want to be around you. Like, let's just call an ace and a spade a spade.
Ooh. It's a very small percentage of men that are sleeping with all the women. If you want a guy that's over 6 foot, that's 15% of men. You want him to be cute, cut that in half. You want him to make money, cut that in half. It's a very small percentage of men that are sleeping with all the girls. Like, every girl has a guy in their friend zone that would treat them well, and they know would treat them well, and they know likes them. And it's like, we don't pick them. And then we're going to cry because the guy we pick is bad to us. But you could have picked the guy in the friend zone.
I mean, you could have just, and this deals with regulating your emotions. You could have just regulated your emotions and said, you know, this is really doing something to me. I don't know what it is, but he's not for me. That would be reflective thinking. That would be self-awareness. But this is what men say. You guys aren't self-aware enough to do an actual diagnostic on your life. Once again, well, I've gone through therapy. Does not matter. You're not listening, or maybe they're not a good therapist. I have no idea. But whatever it is, you're coming out of it and you're still the same person. You're still picking the same people, and your life is turning up the same way that it always has.
It's always finished last, but no, listen, listen. No,
We're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it. Why?
Listen, finish last.
I'm protecting my content.
Who wants to finish? finish.
Okay, why do nice men finish last?
Because girls are too fixated on like looks or like status or whatever. But if you have a good personality, that'll take you farther. I swear.
Okay, but why do nice men finish last?
Because unfortunately, women, I've talked about this a lot, we want what we can't have until one day we realize, wait, shit, I fumbled.
So like, okay, it's possible. So like a lot of women, you guys like just go with the flow until you kind of wake up. It's like, fuck, I don't want to pursue men who are like jerks anymore.
Yeah, yeah, I really.
And honestly, nobody's saying that you can't make a mistake, because it is the fact. It's a fact that sometimes you can be fooled. Sometimes these people, they do and say all of the right things, and you're like, man, I would have never even seen that coming. But what happens is y'all stay in the relationship knowing it is one way. Like y'all keep on doing the same thing, knowing, hey, this guy, I mean, y'all will be in a relationship for years on end, knowing that this man is doing nothing but dragging you down. And then what you're going to do after that relationship is hope that a man that had nothing to do with that builds you back up. That's another meaning of a man saying, I got to play on another man's saved game. That's what they mean. Obviously, it has to do with you being a single mom and stuff like that, but there's also a bigger point to that. I've got to deal with all of the nonsense that this guy didn't have to deal with. I've got to break through all of that. And I'm not saying that you're going to be completely healed. I'm not saying that you're going to have everything together, but you're literally every single day for 2 or 3 years dumping on me. I have to build. That's a real man right there, because he took my nonsense, because he built me, and it's something beautiful about this and that. I get where you're coming from. I understand. But men shouldn't have to continue to be the fixers. They shouldn't have to continue to be the ones that get knocked around, the ones that get played, the ones that get their emotions stomped on and squashed. Because you couldn't figure out, hey, I need to get out of this relationship, and I need to get out of this relationship fast. I mean, even after a year, y'all should say, man, I've given this guy a year. I'm getting up out of here. Y'all will stay 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years sometimes, letting the guy continue to do the same thing that he has been doing. And then when a man to fix it, the nice guy to fix it, it's 20 years later, and you're trying to come back up to the nice guy. For what? For what? How come you didn't fix it in the first year? How come you didn't fix it in the second year? When do you ever learn your lesson? This is what men are trying to figure out.